Let's see what we can do when we should teach vocabulary. Here is a framework you could consider using in your English language classroom. It is called ECDW. Can you guess the concept each letter stands for? E for elicit, C for concept check, D for drill, and W for write. Let's take it one by one, shall we? Elicitation is when we first try to get the vocabulary item, which can be either a word or a phrase, from our students. However, we should remember the 30-second rule. If the students do not provide the answer in less than 30 seconds, introduce the word yourself. What are the ways of eliciting? Let me count the ways. You may consider giving the definition first and see if the students can come up with the answer. You may provide a description of the vocabulary item. You may give them either its synonym or antonym, thus activating the items they already know. You may mime the item. You may use pictures or bring realia. You may give examples. You may provide the context first and ask them to guess the word. However, Penny Earl warns us against the use of this technique if the context does not require the use of the item we are targeting, and in most of the cases it doesn't. Let me prove it to you. Can you guess the exact word in? It's a ... in our family to go fishing once a month. The targeted word is tradition, but you can use custom here as well. The context in no way tells us that we should go exclusively for the word tradition. After elicitation, make sure you check the understanding of the concept. They say that CCQs should be used only for abstract concepts. I would argue that we may use CCQs with some concrete nouns as well. Definitely no CCQs for those that are used on a regular basis and are easy. I don't think it's a good idea to spend time asking CCQs for pen or chair. Tradition is worth checking. For example, we can ask this CCQ: is tradition something that changes often? The moment they get familiar with the vocabulary item, it's time to drill its pronunciation. Pay attention that drilling comes before writing. This is done to avoid fossilization. We know that sounds and letters in English disagree, so if we write the word first, students may learn to pronounce it in the wrong way. You are the one to model the drill. Then ask students to repeat 3 times in chorus. Then divide the class in 2 or 3 groups and drill the item in groups. And finally, ask a few students to pronounce it individually. Last but not least, write the item on the board and ask students to also write it down. There are some steps recommended here as well. First, elicit from students what syllable it is stressed. Mark the stressed syllable. Then elicit from students what word class it is and write it next to the word in brackets. So you may ask, where is the stress in tradition? Second syllable. What word class is it? It is a noun. We can notice that the ECDW framework is the extended version of MPF. The same steps are followed there as well. When introducing the meaning, we should elicit and check the understanding of the concept. When dealing with the pronunciation, we drill. And finally, when focusing on the form, we focus on the written form of the vocabulary item. Summing up, the framework ECDW involves 4 steps in teaching a vocabulary item. E. Elicit the item from students before introducing it yourself. C. Concept check. D. Drill the pronunciation. W. Write the item down. Hope it was useful.